Remodel jobs often present challenges, especially when the workspace is cluttered with stored items. Electrical contractors frequently encounter situations where homeowners or carpenters use the renovation area for storage, which can significantly slow down progress. There are several options to consider to address this issue effectively. Firstly, insist on a clear workspace. Clearly communicate to the homeowner and carpenter that you require a clean and accessible workspace for efficient and safe work. Explain that having obstacles in the way slows down progress and may impact the quality of the installation. Offer to assist with finding alternative storage solutions if necessary. Secondly, adjust the price upward. Inform the homeowner that the additional time and effort required to work around obstacles will result in an adjusted price. Provide a clear explanation of the extra charges and how they will impact the project timeline. Thirdly, negotiate a compromise. Explore options for clearing out essential areas while allowing some items to remain in other areas of the space. Discuss with the homeowner and carpenter how to minimize the impact of stored items on your work. Fourthly, schedule flexible work hours. If possible, arrange to work when the homeowners are not present or the carpenter is not storing materials in the workspace. Fifthly, set clear expectations. Establish clear expectations with the homeowner and carpenter regarding the level of clutter and the consequences of not meeting those expectations. Document these expectations in writing, if necessary. Sixthly, offer alternative solutions. Suggest alternative storage options, such as renting a storage unit or utilizing other areas of the house for temporary storage. Offer assistance or recommendations for professional moving and storage services. Seventhly, be firm but professional. While it's important to be assertive, maintain a professional and respectful demeanor. Clearly state your requirements, explain the reasons behind them, and be willing to negotiate within reason. A combination of these options may be the most effective approach. Communicate the importance of a clear workspace. Set clear expectations and document them. Offer assistance with alternative storage solutions. Negotiate a flexible work schedule if possible. Consider adjusting the price upward as a last resort. Communicating the importance of a clear workspace involves explaining how clutter affects efficiency and safety. A cluttered workspace can impede movement, increase the risk of accidents, and make it difficult to access necessary tools and materials. This can lead to wasted time, increased labor costs, and potential damage to the electrical installation. When setting clear expectations, specify the amount of space that needs to be cleared and the types of items that should be removed. Provide a timeline for when the workspace needs to be cleared and the consequences of not meeting the deadline. Document these expectations in writing to avoid misunderstandings and ensure that everyone is on the same page. Offering assistance with alternative storage solutions demonstrates a willingness to work with the homeowner and carpenter. Suggest practical and affordable storage options, such as renting a storage unit or using other areas of the house for temporary storage. Provide recommendations for professional moving and storage services if necessary. Negotiating a flexible work schedule can help minimize the impact of clutter on your work. Arrange to work when the homeowners are not present or the carpenter is not storing materials in the workspace. This can provide you with uninterrupted access to the work area and allow you to complete the job more efficiently. Adjusting the price upward should be considered as a last resort, but it may be necessary if the homeowner or carpenter is unwilling to cooperate. Clearly explain the additional time and effort required to work around obstacles and how this will impact the project timeline and cost. Provide a detailed breakdown of the extra charges and be prepared to justify your price. The key is to maintain open communication with the homeowner and carpenter throughout the process. By being clear, professional, and willing to compromise when necessary, you can increase the likelihood of a successful project with a satisfied homeowner. Remember to document all agreements and expectations in writing to avoid disputes later on. Consider implementing a clause in your contract that addresses the issue of clutter and the potential for additional charges if the workspace is not adequately cleared. This can help protect you from unexpected costs and ensure that you are fairly compensated for your work. In addition to the strategies mentioned above, consider the following tips for dealing with clutter on remodel jobs. Firstly, before starting the job, take photos or videos of the existing conditions, including any clutter or obstacles. This can serve as evidence of the challenges you faced and help justify any additional charges. Secondly, protect your tools and equipment from damage by covering them with tarps or storing them in a secure location. Clutter can increase the risk of tools being misplaced or damaged. Thirdly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses, gloves, and sturdy footwear to protect yourself from injuries caused by clutter. Tripping hazards and sharp objects can be common in cluttered workspaces. Fourthly, maintain a clean and organized work area as much as possible. Regularly sweep up debris and dispose of waste materials to prevent clutter from accumulating. Fifthly, communicate any safety concerns to the homeowner and carpenter immediately. If you encounter hazardous conditions such as exposed wiring or unstable structures, stop work and address the issue before proceeding. Sixthly, be prepared to adapt your work methods to accommodate the clutter. This may involve using smaller tools, working in confined spaces, or taking extra time to move items out of the way. Seventhly, document any delays or disruptions caused by clutter in your daily job log. This information can be useful for tracking the impact of clutter on your project timeline and justifying any requests for additional time or compensation. Eighthly, consider using technology to improve efficiency and communication. Use a project management app to track tasks, communicate with the homeowner and carpenter, and share photos and videos of the job progress. Ninthly, be patient and understanding. Homeowners and carpenters may be stressed out by the remodel process and may not always be aware of the impact of their clutter on your work. Tenthly, build strong relationships with your clients. A positive attitude and a willingness to work together can go a long way in resolving conflicts and ensuring a successful project. By implementing these strategies and tips, electrical contractors can effectively manage clutter on remodel jobs and ensure efficient, safe, and profitable work. Remember to prioritize communication, set clear expectations, and be willing to negotiate to find solutions that work for everyone involved. When faced with a cluttered workspace, it is essential to assess the situation and determine the best course of action. Consider the following factors when making your decision: the size and nature of the clutter, the impact of the clutter on your ability to work efficiently and safely, the homeowner's or carpenter's willingness to cooperate, the project budget and timeline. Once you have assessed the situation, you can choose the most appropriate strategy for dealing with the clutter. If the clutter is minimal and does not significantly impede your work, you may be able to work around it. However, if the clutter is extensive or poses a safety hazard, you will need to take more assertive action. Remember that your safety and the quality of your work should always be your top priorities. Do not hesitate to insist on a clear workspace if it is necessary to ensure a safe and efficient work environment. By following these guidelines, electrical contractors can effectively navigate the challenges of cluttered remodel jobs and deliver successful projects that meet the needs of their clients. The ability to adapt, communicate effectively, and maintain a professional demeanor is crucial for success in this type of environment. Always prioritize safety, document your work, and be prepared to negotiate to achieve the best possible outcome for all parties involved. And remember, a well-organized and clutter-free workspace not only improves efficiency and safety but also enhances your professional image and reputation. Strive to create a positive and productive work environment that benefits both you and your clients.